Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. My name is Stu, and if you want some tips on how to prioritize your savings and financial goals, then you are in the right place. Now in today's video, I'm going to outline 4 tips that will help you prioritize your savings and balance your short and long-term goals. So let's get started. Now, in today's society, we have a lot of things that are competing for our financial resources. Some of us have to worry about our living expenses. Some of us are saving to buy a home or even planning for retirement or whatever it is that might be important to you right now. Now, let's be honest. Trying to figure out how to balance your income to meet these needs can be challenging if you don't have a plan. So now let's discuss some tips on how we can prioritize your savings at the same time trying to save for your short and long-term goals. Tip number 1 is to create a budget. The first thing that you'll need to do is to be honest about your monthly income and your monthly expenses. So you'll want to write down a list of your net income that you have or you create every single month. The next thing that you'll need to do is to create a list of all of your expenses. So for example, you may need to create a list of all of your debit and credit card purchases, your light bill, your cell phone bill, etc. After you've done that, then you're going to want to categorize them. So for example, you may have to have a category for utilities, entertainment, etc. I also created a video on tips on how to create a budget. So if you're interested in that, I'll also add the link to that video in the description at the end of this video below. Tip number 2 is setting up an emergency fund. Now, typically some advisors will say, hey, you need to set aside 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. I think you should be more aggressive and try to aim more to have 8 to 12 months worth of living expenses, depending on how much it's going to cost to take care of you and your family every single month. Once your emergency fund is in place, then you will want to focus on maxing out your 401k contributions. If you don't have a 401k through your job, then you could do other things like maybe set up a Roth IRA. The plan is you do not want to delay saving for your retirement because you never know what your financial situation is going to look like later on in life when it's harder for you to generate income to take care of you and your family. After you take care of your retirement accounts, then you can do things like focus on maybe a college plan for your children. If you don't have children, then that'll just give you the opportunity to focus on other things that are important to you, like maybe a charity or something like that, or some other activity that you'd like to take care of or save for later on in life. I also did a video on how to set up an emergency fund with compounding interest, as well as another video that talks about how to grow your 401k. That video, actually, I'll also add that to the link to this video at the end as well. Tip number 3, save for your short-term goal. Now, you might be saying to yourself, how long is considered short-term? Short-term, I think, could be anything less than 12 months, but at the end of the day, it's really up to you to determine what you consider a short-term goal. After you have determined the length of time that is appropriate for your short-term list, then after that, you may want to make a list of all the things that you want to accomplish within that time frame. So let's say, for example, if you determine that 12 months is your short-term period, then you may want to list out 5 goals that you want to accomplish within that 12-month period, and then you want to rank them from the most important to the least important. After you've listed your goals that you want to accomplish, the next step is to set up a high-yield savings account for that particular goal, because what you're going to want to do is now you're going to want to start to fund that account to take care of those goals. So for example, if you plan on putting money in weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, you should set a goal to do just that. And when you set up an online savings account, they also have features that allow you to automate the process so that you can transfer money automatically every single month to go towards taking care of those short-term goals. That brings us to tip number 4, trying to find additional ways to cut your expenses so that you can save more money. The amount of money that you'll be able to save every month, realistically, it's going to depend a lot on your own personal circumstances. You should also aim to try to cut your expenses by at least 10 to maybe 20%. So when you look at your list of expenses and you rank those as the ones that realistically that you know that you could cut, try to see if you can cut it between 10 and 15%. If your monthly expenses are high, again, look at your itemized list and you'll be able to see which one of your expenses is really, really high. So for example, if you spend a lot of money on something like entertainment, then what you could do is you can honestly go online and look at free events that are within, a reasonable time distance from where you live and take advantage of those free events that are within your area. Another way to cut your expenses is trying to cook a new dish. And the benefit of having YouTube, actually, you can go on YouTube and I'm sure you'll find tons of interesting dishes online with step-by-step on how to make these dishes that you can try and you can experiment with. And who knows, you maybe find something new that becomes your new favorite dish. You may want to consider automating the process so that if you're not disciplined, you can automate the process. So for example, let's just say you have direct deposit that pays you twice a month, maybe on the 15th and maybe the 31st of every month. What you can do with your online savings account is you can schedule it so that it'll take out a certain amount on the day that you normally get paid. So once you automate it, it now goes on autopilot and you no longer have to worry about trying to log in and make that transfer manually. You could just do that automatically and that'll make the process so much more smoother and simpler for you. These are just some of the tips that you could consider if you want to learn how to prioritize your savings and financial goals. I hope you found some of this information helpful. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the content that I shared, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and also leave a comment. You can also share this with somebody that you believe will benefit from this information. Thank you for watching and hope you join me for the next video.